The Trump administration is phasing out a special immigration program, announcing an end to temporary protected status for 57,000 Hondurans yesterday. The Hondurans will have until January of 2020 to return home or remain in the United States as undocumented immigrants. Most arrived after Hurricane Mitch struck Central America in 1999. Many now have businesses, families, and children who are U.S. citizens. For more on what's happening to this long-running program and to the hundreds of thousands of people affected, we turn to USA Today reporter Alan Gomez, who joins us from Miami. So put this in perspective, this is just the latest country that's been on the list and actions have been taken against them. How much of the population of people with TPS does this now represent?
Yeah, this just represents like you said, the latest step. They've been methodically going country by country, eliminating TPS for these people that had it. There's about a total of about 317,000 people from 10 different countries that are in TPS. They've now cut it for 98% of that population. The most significant was El Salvador. They had 197,000 people who had TPS, about 46,000 Haitians, these 57,000 Hondurans, and yeah, so they're pretty much winding down the entire program.
What about the children that are U.S. citizens here? What kinds of ripple effects in terms of population are we seeing? You said 317,000 had the TPS protections, but then now there are entire families with some of those people.
Yeah, and that's one of the most agonizing parts of this for the people who are going to be faced with this decision. There was about 197,000 El Salvadorans who were in the program. They've had about 190,000 U.S.-born children, so they're citizens. Same with Hondurans, about 57,000 of those are in the program. They've had about 53,000 children in the United States, and so each of them are going to have to make a decision. Do I go back to my home country that is gripped by violence and take my son or daughter who may or may not have ever gone to that country and may or may not speak Spanish, or do I leave, go back and leave my child behind in the United States, or do I stay in the United States, become an undocumented immigrant, risk deportation, and kind of put my family through that stress?
Well, speaking of the conditions in those countries that they're going back to, we saw a lot of headlines over the past couple of weeks about the caravan that has been moving north and is now stalled at the border. These are people that are seeking asylum from some of these countries because it's not safe for them to be alive.
Yeah, and that's another really difficult part of this. I mean, El Salvador, like Honduras, it was originally granted TPS because of Hurricane Mitch, but in the ensuing 2 decades, that country has been besieged by drug cartel violence, by gang violence. It ranks as one of the most dangerous in the world. El Salvador has the highest murder rate, or had it at least a couple of years ago. Still incredibly difficult place. The U.S. State Department has travel warnings in place for those 2 countries because of how dangerous, because of the risk of kidnappings, of extortion, of things like that. And so, yeah, now we're expected to send back tens of thousands of people to those countries at a time when things are so bad that people are fleeing those countries to try to come to the United States to claim asylum. So that sort of, it just shows just how complicated this is and how tough that decision is going to be for these folks.
All right, Alan Gomez of USA Today joining us from Miami. Thanks so much.
Thank you.